Imagine this. You wake up one morning and everything feels ordinary. The sun rises, people rush to work, children laugh in the streets. But then a doctor looks you in the eye and says, "You only have a few months left to live." How would you react? Most of us would feel our world collapse in that moment. Fear, panic, regret. We'd think about all the things we didn't do, the time we wasted, the words we never said. For many, death is the ultimate fear. The shadow we try to ignore, the reality we bury under entertainment, distractions, and endless busyness. But for the Stoics, death was not something to run from. It was not the enemy. It was, in fact, the teacher of life's deepest lessons. 2,000 years ago, Marcus Aurelius, Epictetus, and Seneca faced mortality every day. They lived in times of plagues, wars, exile, and short lifespans. For them, death was always near, and that's exactly why they embraced it instead of fearing it. Stoic philosophy on death. Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher-emperor, wrote in his Meditations, "You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do, say, and think." These words weren't meant to be depressing, they were meant to awaken. Marcus wasn't telling us to dwell on death in despair. He was reminding us that because life is fragile, we must live intentionally. Every day is borrowed time. Epictetus, born a slave and later freed, was brutally realistic. He said, "When you kiss your child, say to yourself, tomorrow he may die." To modern ears, this sounds harsh, even cruel. But Epictetus wasn't promoting coldness. He was urging us to love without illusion, to treasure every moment as if it could be the last, because one day it will be. Seneca, the Roman statesman and Stoic writer, famously wrote, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste much of it." This single line cuts deeper than any motivational slogan today. It tells us the problem isn't how many years we get. It's how carelessly we spend them. We scroll, we complain, we compare, we postpone, and then we say life is short. But it isn't short. It's squandered. Why do we fear death? Why does death terrify us? The Stoics believed it's because we cling too tightly to what we cannot control. We want guarantees, more years, more comfort, more time. But the universe offers no such promises. Seneca said, "He who fears death will never do anything worthy of a living man." Fear of death paralyzes us. It makes us cautious when we should be bold. It keeps us silent when we should speak. It tempts us to waste our days on trivial pursuits while postponing what truly matters. The Stoic answer is not to deny the fear, but to confront it directly. To look death in the face and say, "You do not own me." Hope, the power of Memento Mori. The Stoics practiced Memento Mori, the reminder of mortality. It literally means, remember you will die. Far from being morbid, this practice was liberating. Imagine living each day with full awareness that it could be your last. Would you still waste hours scrolling on your phone? Would you still postpone your dreams until someday? Would you still hold grudges, or would you forgive more quickly? Memento Mori forces us to sharpen our priorities. It asks us, if this were your last day, would you be proud of how you lived it? Stoic practices for facing death. Here are practical ways the Stoics turned the fear of death into the strength of life. 1. Daily reflection. Marcus Aurelius wrote his Meditations not for the public but for himself. Every night he asked, "Did I live according to reason? Did I act with justice and courage?" You can do the same. Before sleeping, reflect, if this was my last day, how would I judge it? 2. Negative visualization. Premeditatio malorum. The Stoics imagined worst-case scenarios, not to be pessimistic, but to prepare their minds. Imagine losing your job, your health, or even your life. When the event comes, you're less shocked, and when it doesn't, you feel gratitude. 3. Voluntary discomfort. Seneca advised practicing poverty once in a while. Sleep on the floor. Eat simple food. Wear rough clothes. Then ask, is this what I feared? By rehearsing loss, you strip away death's power over you. 4. Gratitude in the face of mortality. Every day is a gift that billions before you no longer have. Instead of fearing death, the Stoics turned it into gratitude. Each sunrise was proof. I get another chance. 5. Live according to virtue, not length. For Stoics, it didn't matter how long you lived. What mattered was how you lived. Did you act with wisdom, courage, justice, and self-control? If yes, then whether you lived 30 years or 90, your life was complete. Hope. Historical examples of Stoic death. Socrates, though technically a pre-Stoic, deeply influenced them. When sentenced to death, he calmly drank the hemlock, saying, "No evil can happen to a good man." either in life or after death. Epictetus accepted suffering and eventual death with serenity, teaching that what matters is not events but our judgment of them. Seneca, ordered by Emperor Nero to take his own life, accepted death with dignity. He comforted his friends, opened his veins, and showed that a Stoic dies as he lives, calm, courageous, free. Why this matters today? We live in a culture that hides death. We push it to hospitals, we avoid talking about it. We distract ourselves with entertainment, and yet beneath the surface, the fear gnaws at us. Anxiety, depression, endless chasing of status and wealth. All of these are symptoms of avoiding mortality. The Stoic view is radically different. By confronting death, we free ourselves from it. By remembering death, we discover how to truly live. Hope. In the modern lesson, think about your own life. How many hours slip by in front of screens? How often do you say, one day I'll start that project. One day I'll travel. One day I'll change. But one day is not guaranteed. All you have is today. As Marcus Aurelius wrote, do not act as if you were going to live 10,000 years. Death hangs over you. While you live, while it is in your power, be good. Hope, a powerful closing. Here's the truth. You will die. I will die. Everyone you love will one day be gone. This is not something to fear, it is something to embrace. Because when you accept death, fear loses its grip. Petty problems fade. Gratitude grows. Life becomes sharper, more urgent, more real. Modern self-help says, chase life, escape death. Stoicism says, remember death and you will finally begin to live. So let me leave you with this question. If you died tomorrow, would you be proud of how you lived today? Because in the end, death is not the enemy. Forgetting to live is.